Good evening, everybody. Shady Hill, look at you. First in line. And Alicia, Katie, hello, Dave. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Minnesota in March. Well, it's the end of March, so it's springtime. We still are only about 40 degrees, I think. We're supposed to get snow the next few days, like 3 days. So, Patty, hello. Yeah, I should have checked the temp before I got on, but now you can get it live here. Oh, 36. There you go. 36 degrees with 17 mile an hour winds. I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyway, wind chill is, what's wind chill? 26. That's not too bad. We had wind chill in the negatives over the weekend, so this is warmer. So hello. So Dave, you got a little snow last night? Okay, we're down to 15. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I noticed on Morgan's and Gold Shop Farm, because he's up in your region, that they had a really bad storm. Wind came through and destroyed his hoop house, which is where he houses his ducks and geese. So that was pretty severe. That was pretty severe. You're down to 15 tonight. Yeah. Oh, I bet that was Alicia. It was lovely. How is Jacob doing, Alicia? I hope he's doing well and recovering. Hey, Michigan Daffodil. Hello. After you could skip the commercial. I know, those little commercials. Went for a lovely walk today at the park. I saw your post of that. I didn't get to watch any videos at all today, so hopefully I'll have a little time tonight, but I don't know. I think I'm going to pass out tonight. I know, right, Tim? Hey, Vonnie. Hello. Debbie, welcome. Wow, look at you guys. 3 minutes in, and we're cranking it up here already. Jeff, hello. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea what his surgery was for, but we'll definitely keep him in our prayers. Everybody, her son Jacob. Grammy Karen, good evening. Going through pictures from 1977. Wow. I know it. Holy cow! When did I do it? At least 10 or 12 years ago. I went through like 3 decades worth of pictures and put them in albums and got that all caught up, and haven't done anything since then. So I'm getting a stack building again. You know, the pictures that you get for Christmas cards and, you know, wedding announcements or whatever, those all come in, and it's like you want to store them somewhere. And so I do have a lot of photo albums. But at some point I'm going to have to go through those and determine, it's like, what do I keep? What don't I, right? Downsizing, purging a little. So you're -5, Jeff. Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit? Okay. Well, Alicia, thank you. So you were just getting started. I know. Vonnie and I were graduated from high school by then. 1977. I was in college. Oh my goodness. Oh, very good, Vonnie. That's awesome. Great idea. Going through them. You know, my mom did that a couple years, many years ago, that she went through all of her stuff. And then because she had so many and a lot of duplicates and everything, so she just made albums for all of us. And it was really great. It really was. So, oh, Dave, I didn't realize you were that young. Oh, yes, the spirit of 76. 1976, when I graduated. And I don't know if your school did this, Vonnie, or not, but because it was the bicentennial year, the birthday, 200-year birthday of our nation, and we graduated. Our school colors were purple and white. Well, that year for our graduation gowns, we had white with red and blue stripes that were done nicely. You know, it was kind of like a I don't remember, but it was tasteful. Then we also had our hats, you know, the little cardboard square thing, but we ended up getting 2 tassels, which nobody else did in any of the years. We had a purple and white tassel and then a red, white, and blue tassel. So I was like, I still have those too. So anyway, little tidbit of information there. Hey, Tony. No worries. I know it can be a difficult time right around dinner time, so I totally understand. Yep. Oh, class of 2000. Ooh, Jeff. Hey, we're all giving each other our ages. You were in Elk River. It was red and white. Okay. You just had to add a little blue then, right? There you go. Hey, Mennonite Farmhouse. Welcome. You're making your dinner. What are you having, Patty? The Tinker's wife, for anybody who doesn't know, is an awesome gardener. Oh my goodness, she's been doing it for so many years. And I would say your specialty is herbs and herbs and container gardening, I think, is what I would say, right? Sean, well, you're not too far behind me. There you go. Hey, Ricky, welcome. You're trying to catch up saying how you just finished your, okay. You're making homemade sloppy joes, corn, and you have some pineapple. Ooh, that sounds really good. Sounds really good. Sloppy joes. I haven't had sloppy joes for years. Excuse me. So that sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. I didn't even get a chance to. Oh, guys, I worked all night last night. I don't like working on Sundays, but if there are things that are time sensitive, I will like start later in the evening, like after 9 or something, and try to get some things done. Well, I ended up working through the night. I went to bed at 6 o'clock this morning, slept for about 4 hours, and up and at it, Zooming and phoning and working again all day today. So I did not have much of a chance to make notes or anything, but I think we'll all do fine today, right? So I don't really have any like gardener prep tips tonight because I just didn't have time to think about that. But hopefully I'll make it through this hour and I won't like fall asleep on you or crash or anything. I wanted to show you something. Well, first of all, we're going to look at my onions. Look at these babies. Oh, I just had one fall out. They are starting to get long and kind of top heavy. So I'm going to give them a haircut here to give them a chance to get stronger at their base. So I'm just going to cut them down here. These are my garden shears. They're Black & Decker, if anybody wanted to know. So just give them a little bit of a trim so that there's not so much weight on top flopping over. And it'll give them a chance to stand up strong and to be able to grow a little bit more from their base. Here's one that's kind of flopping over. Let's see if I can get that one. Oops. This one down here. Get that baby. So I'm going to go down to about 3 to 4 inches or so. These guys were at least 6 inches long. So you can see I did. Now I don't think I'll leave all these trimmings in here. I'll go through later and pull them all out, but just so that I don't have like debris in here that might breed things. But anyway, so those are my yellow sweet Spanish onions. And so now you can see kind of the difference here. Haircut, no haircut. And you can see they're already standing up a little bit stronger and taller, and it'll just give them some strength and being able to do that. But you guys, these are only 2 weeks old. 2 weeks old. So look at how tall they're growing. Now, remember last week I told you my Walla Wallas weren't germinating very well, so I did throw in some more seed in the bare spaces, and they are growing. So you can always do that if it hasn't been a long time between planting, throw some more seeds in there. So I got to catch up on. You guys are just zooming this chat. I got to catch up on this. So, thanks, Bonnie. Thank you, Alicia. Hey, Gil. Yep, a trim, absolutely. There we go. Interesting idea. Maybe you should trim your onions too. Yeah, I had not heard of doing that at this point until, I don't know, a month or so ago. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Give it a better chance to grow. This is already 2 weeks, and I have about at least 6 or 7 weeks before I can put them out in the garden. So they're going to grow quite a bit. So I want to give them a chance to start bulbing a little bit, and then they're just going to get a really good start on that before I put them in the garden. So we have Wicked Awesome Gardening. Hello. You finally caught me. Oh, so you're a mod too. I hear you. It can get kind of crazy. Sometimes there are 2 or 3 lives at one time. And great idea. Wickham. Wicked Awesome Gardening just gave her onions a haircut yesterday and used the trimmings on dinner. That is an excellent idea. So yes, these are, can be used like chives because they're, they're live and they're very, very oniony. Smell really, really, really good. Who do we have going here? Good sunny day. Yes, it was sunny today. It's cool. Your onions have roots out the bottom of the cells, getting ready to transplant them. Okay. Well, then it must be, are you going to transplant them in-house, Dave, or are you getting ready to put them outside? Because, we still have all of April, which we can have days that are in the 90s and yet major snowstorms and 15 below zero Fahrenheit. So April can do all kinds of things here. But anyway, you saw my shears. I recommend a really good pair of garden shears, ones that are sharp, that are really easy on your hands, and that you can trim, that are strong enough to be able to trim tomato branches and everything, which can get very, very tough sometimes. So I recommend that. That's my garden tip for tonight. Get a good set of shears. Invest in them. It's worth it. It really is. Hey, Kiri. Hello. They're a little cold. Oh, okay. On the fence. Okay, got it. It's below freezing today. Your tulips are not looking. Oh, I have not checked my garden bed for any tulips yet. I wonder if they're probably growing. I don't think I had too many left though, because I dug up everything last year to rebuild that garden, so did not get a chance to replant. So I don't know if anything is actually even coming up. You've got to get yours hardened off so you can put them out in a few weeks. Your last frost isn't until May 3rd, but onions can handle a little bit of cold or snow. Oh, that's good to know. I saw Sean in here before. I don't remember if I said hi to or not, but welcome. Um, are you thinking about moving? Wicked awesome gardening. That would be awesome. Below 20. Oh, yeah, I hear you. Um, yes, good kitchen scissors, good garden shears. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have 12 active fires in Texas. Oh, my goodness. And like I said last night, Kiri, it's like just one state over and they're flooding like crazy. And it's like, oh, just wish you could get some rain over in your area. That'd be so good. The Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival is on here in Oregon. Oh, this sounds so fun. Acres of tulips with earlier just going now. Oh, so fun. Wonderful. Wonderful. The other thing that just came that I have to set up, but because you guys know I have my my little mini greenhouse here that's where I have my onion starts, and I'm gonna have all my other starts in there and they stay there for a few weeks. But because I'm in my den, a separate little room here, and that's tucked off in the corner, there are a lot of times if there are days, especially that I'm not in here, or I get up and get busy and I forget to come and turn the lights on. So I got a power strip because I need a power strip for all the different lights, but it's programmable. So I can actually automatically have it turn on and off at set times. And so I can have an automatic sunshine going on. I am so excited about this. So anyway, it just came. So I need to program it and plug it in and get it going. It's going to be great for those days that, like weekends, I have to be gone, either taking care of my dad or whatever. And I don't have to worry about it. All I have to think about is watering. So, yep. Thank you, Grandma Karen. I appreciate that. There are a lot of flower producers along the freeway. Nice. The indoor aroma is going bonkers. Had to raise the light bars again. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Grandma Karen, do you have one of these? It's just like, so it wasn't like outrageously expensive. I think it was like $22 or something. But I mean, it's super heavy duty. It's got 4, I think the green side are ones that there are 4 that are programmable, and then the others always stay on. So if there's, a light that I always want to be on, or something plugged in, like I want a fan on or something, I can plug it in and then I can deal with the fan later. But this is like super heavy duty. I'm excited. It's going to make just one less thing to worry about, Oh, Dave, that's so cool. High tech clapper. That's cool. Hey, John. Why was the snowman holding a bag of carrots? He was. Oh, yeah. You like to make a splash here, huh? How's my dad doing? He's doing okay. He's fully bedridden, and his dementia's getting worse. So he asks for my mom a lot, and so we have to kind of make up things, like she's visiting the kids, but she loves you, different things like that. So it's just kind of a whole different thing in that way. But but he's still at home, and we'll just have to see how long that holds out. Yeah, he's 91 and a half. I just can't believe he's still going. He is still going. So, let me see. I have 2 to 6 year olds in the nursery at church thinking of taking them outside to plant flower seeds in a cup to take home. That would be so great. Um, Maybe a dwarf sunflower or a zinnias. Zinnias grow fast and they're so colorful. Um, Daisies can get a little finicky and everything, but I think just something that's hardy. Maybe zinnias. 'Cause, not like a giant zinnia, but the smaller ones. Um, that would be kind of my recommendation, I think, Kiri. So, oh, marigolds. There you go. Marigolds are a good one. Hey, keep it simple. How are you? Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Marigold typo. Your grandmother lived till she was 93. This Saturday, we're having a family celebration for my aunt, who's also my godmother, and she turned 95 this month, actually on March 1st. So we're finally celebrating in April. But she's 95. She's my mom's sister. So she's 3 years older than my mom and has outlived her. So it's just like amazing. Oh, I just can't believe it. Um, so hugs from the Philippines. Hello, oh, hugs to you too. 95 is a great run. 98, nice. Thank you. Yes, it is amazing. So, okay. So shears, trimmed one thing of onions. I wanted to talk about, there's always questions about like, what do I plant where? How do I know, if this will grow in this area, if this will grow here or whatever? Last week I just said, if you haven't started gardening, just open up some dirt in your yard, just get things going, fill a pot, just do something to get started, just so you can experience the growing, and then you can develop things out from there. One thing, because people are like, well, do I plant in ground? Do I plant raised rows? Do I plant raised beds? Do I do containers? Do I do trellises? I don't, it's like, I don't know what to do. And it is true. It's hard to figure out all of that, what the plants need, where to put things, because every plant does something very different. Yes, you can easily, watch tons of YouTube channels and everything, but the growing season can get by you when you start doing that. It's like, oh man, I missed the chance to put this in the ground or whatever. The key is to look at your seeds. Look at the garden catalogs, the seed catalogs, figure out what it is that they say, how you need to grow things. Let me see if it says, now this is, this is Seed Savers Exchange. I'm just trying to see in here if they say much. Doesn't really look like it. But some of them, you've got Baker Creek, and a lot of times they'll say, they'll give history and different things, but what you're looking for is like, how, what kind of soil does it need? Okay, so this one, I'll give you an example. This is High Mowing Organic Seeds, and they have a lot of other vegetables and everything. So I just opened it up to cauliflower. Now they give a little thing here. It says cultural info, and so it says days to maturity are from transplant. Add 15 to 20 days if you're direct seeding, which is good to know. Cauliflower is a cool season, biennial, closely related to broccoli and cabbage. It does best in cool temperature climates, but can be grown anywhere with the right varieties and good care. It greatly prefers steady, uninterrupted growth with good fertilization. So you say uninterrupted growth, that means it needs space. Okay, different space. Yes, plant requirements are the key, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Carrie. So yeah, I love cauliflower. It's awesome. So they want good fertilization, ample water. Environmental stress leads to poor head development. Direct seed or start indoors 4 to 6 weeks before planting date. Plant outdoors in spring as soon as hard frost is past. Seedlings can withstand, I mean, this is like super itty bitty tiny stuff, so you guys, I apologize. Seedlings can withstand light frost once hardened off. Fall crops should be sown in midsummer and protected from extreme heat. Anyway, they can kind of go on together for that. They want, most of the time they will tell you like exactly, it's like what type of soil it needs to be, how much light it needs. Is it full sun? Is it partial sun? Is it full shade? Is it partial shade? And those kind of things between your seed catalog and your seed packets. So, got my seeds. Your seed packets. Let me see here. I'm just going to pull the radishes out and see what they have to say. So, just a purple plum. Oops, purple plum radish. So it says on the packet, the days to germination. Okay, now this is packed. I know they just changed their, let me find one that is a new one. Emma Gardner just changed all of their packets to be able to, let me see. I think it's my other one. Anyway, sorry. The packets will show like your spacing, if it's full sun, partial sun, all that kind of stuff. Yes, radishes grow so fast. Exactly, Patty. Know the cultural requirements of soil, nutrition, water, and light. And that really, really helps you to be successful in growing what you want to grow. So, you don't plant tomatoes 4 inches apart. You're going to have real problems there. You need about an 18-inch space at least. 2 feet preferably, if you're going to just let them grow, you're not going to trim them. And you need, each thing, some of them enjoy a heavier soil that like stays moist. Others need to have well-drained soil so that the roots can breathe, different things like that. So you want to really pay attention to your things. So you love radishes, you actually prefer to let half of them go to seed. The radish seed pods. Oh, interesting. Okay. So when you're figuring your garden space, I have seen first-time gardeners out in our area put in, like a 10-foot by 15-foot little plot. They go and till it up, but it's like under trees. And it's like, oh, and you're trying to put corn in there. You're trying to put beans in there. You're trying to put, different things that need full sun, and you're putting them under the shade of a tree. And they say, well, it gets sun in the morning from, 6 until 10. Isn't that good enough? And it's like, well, it's only 4 hours of sunlight. It's not that strong at 6 o'clock in the morning. They need to have a minimum of 10 to 12 hours of sunlight. So, one, you either move your garden to an open, sunny space, or you trim your trees, or you try to grow things that are okay growing in somewhat of a shade. Hey, Donna, you'll be starting seeds this weekend. Woo. Stringfield Ridge, hello. Julie, hi. Yeah, full sun means full sun, and trees are a big problem. So really observe your area that you're thinking of, and it's like, okay, when does, if there are trees around, when does it get shade? Um, is it on a slope? Are we going to have problems with heavy rains washing away a lot of your soil or washing away your seeds? That type of thing. And the areas that you have will also determine how you end up growing things. Almost everything that you have can grow just right in the ground. We call it in-ground gardening these days. So anyway, I mean, that's the way we always used to grow before anyway. But so there's just totally in-ground, just sow it right in there or plant right level with the rest of the ground. And, so you, you're trying to put things in there. Sorry, I'm gonna get this out of my way here. So, check that out and everything else. Like if you have nice flat land, go for it. If you have something that's kind of hilly, you might want to consider doing either raised rows, which is, tilling up an area and then taking the dirt and mounding it in between, and then have like a walking path in between the rows and just mounding your soil. You can mound it either a foot wide or 2 feet wide. You can even mound it 3 feet wide and then just broadcast plant your things in there. You can do raised beds, which would be great for slopes or hilly situations, because you can dig your ground and then set your bed in there so that it is level and have your space in there, that type of thing. So I got to catch up on the chat here. Planting among trees. Trees are huge consumers of water and nutrition. Excellent point there, Patty. I appreciate that. Yes, excellent point. So because you want to give your plants every opportunity to be able to thrive and get the nutrition that they need from the soil and everything else. And if you're next to something big that's sucking all of that out of there, you're going to have a hard time. So your seeds will be going in the greenhouse this weekend? Oh, yep. I hear you. You've raised beds to help with tree roots sucking water in semi-hilly. There you go, Michigan Daffodil. You've adapted to your terrain, to your ground and everything else, and tried to figure out what is working best in there. It depends on your climate too. If you're super hot and dry like Texas, California, Arizona, that type of thing, if you're really, really hot and dry, you need to figure some other things out. There, actually, some shade would be helpful. If you get very little, very little water, and you've got just brutal sun beating down, a little bit of shade would actually end up doing it well. If you're in the Northwest or in the deep South where you get lots of rain and you're saturated, you're going to want to make sure that your growing area is up above the ground level, at least 6 inches, so that you can, if you get a lot of rain, that you're not drowning out your roots, not drowning your plants. That's where raised beds really do help there. Okay, Debbie, you have rocky soil. That really helps too. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Drops, how are you? plant radishes first to break up the soil. There you go. For 4 weeks, you have radishes, and you can plant something else. Very good. I love your tips, your ideas. You guys, you're so great. You're a big fan of 30-inch beds, 18-inch walkways. Yes. Yes. I did that for years before I built my raised beds. I've only had these for 8 or 9 years, and I've been gardening for 27, 28 years, something like that. So, yeah, that's what I did for a long time. I did the raised rows, and it worked really, really well. And I would plant, was it annual ryegrass through my rows in between the beds, so that, and then as it grew, I just weed whipped in there, and it became green, either mulch or green manure for my plants in my beds. But then I had something nice, some grass to walk on. I wasn't getting all muddy. It kept the weeds down. It kept the soil moisture. It wasn't drying out, and the worms loved it. So when I would turn it over in the fall, I had lots of worms there. So Patty, your larger fir trees could drink up to 600 gallons a day. Wow. No wonder you guys get a lot of rain up there. Oh my goodness. Wow. Do peas grow fast? Yes, they do. You know, I guess kind of normally, not like a radish or something, but they, if you plant them in April, you're harvesting in June. They're usually a 50 to 60 day plant, something like that. So, Drops, what did you suggest here that she is saying? My eyes aren't working as great here. Oh, you have plant radishes. There you go. Okay. Peas for you take a while to get up and growing, but once they get 4 to 6 inches, they take off. Yep. And there again, it depends on your variety too of peas. So even within the same vegetable, there's a lot of different varieties and different things. I was showing you the peas last week. Some were Tom Thumb peas, so they're only getting like 6 to 8 inches tall, and others can get 3 to 4, 5, 6 feet tall, depending on the variety that you get. And so if that's another thing to look at, your seed packet, if it says, okay, this one gets 3 feet tall, and especially peas, and they say, well, you don't really have to trellis them. Trust me, it's better if you can. So if you have some fencing that you can plant near, that is like the greatest thing. Just put the peas along the fence, and they love it. They're not in the way of other things. You get a great harvest. They just vine right up the fence. They hold on, and it's so easy to pick them. I've seen people who just will plant either, plants that get tall, peas or tomatoes or something, and with that, they don't stake them, and they flop over, and they become this huge tangled mess that you can hardly find the fruit that's on them, much less being able to take care of them very well, and so it's hard on the plant. They don't produce very well. It's hard for you to harvest, hard for you to maintain it. And so it's just easier if you just put your seeds for the plants for what they like and what they need. As far as like container planting, again, I think that if you have very, very hot, dry areas, container planting is going to be a struggle because they dry out so fast, because you've got the heat and the air coming from really all directions. When you're in the ground, at least it's just from the surface down. In a pot, you're getting it from the sides too, and you can water every day, and it still might not make enough of a difference. And I learned that the hard way a few years ago. So The seed info on the packets is recommendations only. Things grow different in every region. Exactly. Um, oh, drops. Thank you. Those are great companions. Yes. Companion planting is excellent. You plant peas next weekend. Yeah, not too much longer. I'll be putting peas out. We have been cold this last week, and like I said, we're supposed to get 3 days of snow this week. So I'm not quite ready to get things out in there, but it is, and the ground has been so mucky kind of out there, so I really can't get out in the yard yet without just making a huge mess in there. So hopefully that will change very soon and I can start getting outside. Um, the box has been built. You had barriers against tree roots in the room. Nice. Those were beautiful boxes, Patty. Those really were. If anybody needs to look to see what she has, go to the Tinker's Wife's channel, and her old videos show all that kind of stuff. From, I would say, probably 2 years ago are the best ones, Patty. Maybe because last year you didn't grow, and then this year you're in a different place. So from like 2 summers ago, you had a lot of really good things. 60 to 70 Ps to maturity. Okay. Give a cheater. Oh, nice. Oh, that's so great. Um, None of your peas sprouted. Going to have to replant. Oh, peas grow well with cucumbers. Um, what can you do to keep deer out of the garden? Um, Other than a 10-foot fence. Um, hmm. I don't know. Does anybody have any big ideas? I don't have to deal with deer here, which I'm very grateful for. I've heard that there are some certain grains that you can grow that they don't like the smell of them or something, and it deters them, that you can like plant as a perimeter. Um, I know Living Traditions planted like double fencing around because the deers don't like to jump over, two sets of fencing, but that's not always practical either. Um, oh, Katie, that sounds nice. I bet that's going to be beautiful. Last Wednesday, your friend Jess, 100. Oh, that's right, Kiri. There were no flowers. Oh, the deer ate them all. Oh, that's heartbreaking. I'm so sorry about that. Um, Fence motion detection sprinkler. Oh, that is a good idea. You've put pots in a kiddie pool in bottom water. There you go. Yep. See if that's a great way to container plant. Excellent idea. Thank you, Donna. Yes, taking a kiddie pool and putting pots in there or containers and then just filling it with water and letting it go. That's a great way to do it. Very good idea. You'll have to, Alicia, that would be something that would be great for you to try with your kids too. So you fight deer here. Yes, you have a nice fence around your place, Dave. Do they get in or has that done the job? Uh, hey, Southern Blast. Hello. You've tried everything to keep deer away. Most things work for a while, then you need to change them up. Mints and some smelly plants. That's a good thing too. You gotta shower. Okay, there's always that chance to do that, right? Marigolds around the perimeter, deer spray. Okay. Awesome. That is great. So I don't know if like I don't know, we got on a subject one time a while back, but using different things like other predator animals, juice. You would call it, they're like cougar urine or something like that, that would they would smell it and just, be frightened from it, and that would keep them away, but there again, you're, like, really stinking up your yard too, so that might not be something you wanna deal with. Plant stuff around the garden the deer like, they eat that instead. Hmm, then you're inviting them in though too. You also cage your small trees. Ah, good idea. Yep. Oh, there you go. The dogs, that'll work. So, so between what your climate is, what your ground is like, your lot that you're using to plant in, your space, if it's flat, if it's hilly, if it's gets super saturated, if it's really dry, um, whether you're dealing with a lot of heat or cool weather, if you have trees around the shade, all of these things determine what you're going to be using. Now, um, like you, it's hard to put like a pumpkin plant in a container because it's going to sprawl. It's going to go all over. It likes to be in the ground. It likes to have something they can really establish and go. Again, that there are certain vegetables that need to climb. You've got pole beans and peas and all of these that need to climb need a trellis of some sort. And it doesn't have to be a cattle panel. It doesn't have to be an expensive thing. Um, if you go to garage sales or even to like the throwaway stuff at Home Depot or Lowe's or something, they have like giveaway piles and everything. If you found some trellising, like the wooden trellising that they put around like the base of houses and stuff like that, those are great to put out, and you could put something like that. There are different ways that you can find and make a trellis. So you could even take wire and just string it and make something. So, if it's because things are getting expensive and um also it's kind of hard to find things, just get creative, figure some things out. You can even, if you need branches and just weave them or something and make some kind of big mesh thing or something. That would be, just try to find what you can do. Um, Alicia, what did I say? I don't remember. You'll have to go back and look at that. I'm sorry. Hey, Albany Mountain, how are you? Pumpkins also reroot on the vines to uptake nutrients. There you go. Thank you, Julie, for that input. I appreciate that. Yes, so they need to be crawling along the ground so that they can establish as they're going through, and they just need space and to sprawl and everything. Um, if anybody doesn't watch M.I. Gardner, or if you do follow him, he did a video a few days ago from Mexico, and he was showing this garden space that is like a polyculture, which means it's many different ground culture type of things growing spaces within a small area. And it was like a canopy of lemon and lime trees, and then putting other vegetables in and around there that really thrive. And so that's again where you need to know what the plants need, how well they'll do. It's hard to grow carrots in rocky soil, different things like that. So you just have to do your research, look at your seed packets, look at your catalogs, look online if you need to, all that kind of stuff. So you saw someone use a slinky for a trellis? That is so clever. Oh my goodness. That would be great. Oh, there you go, Albany Mountain. That's great. That's great. Um, Michelle, hello. Deep South had issues with deer eating all the sweet potato vines. Tried everything, then got a product from someone. Okay. TP poles. Yep, those are good too. Yep. I think there was one year that my daughters and I built one of those too, and it was just like because, sending the pole beans up the TP pole and everything. So, yeah, there's just so many things that you can get really creative for. Looking at and researching like the Native Americans, what they did, because a lot of them were nomadic. And so they needed to have things that were portable, but they also needed to grow all their own food. So it's like, what did they make them out of? How did they do that? And, you know, that was their sustenance. That's what they existed on. So they needed to figure that out. Epsom salts. Oh, keeps our raccoons too. Matt and Sarah, I think, have trouble with raccoons, if I'm not mistaken. I should tell them that one too. Some fruits and veggies need to be purchased from your local farmer. Yeah, exactly. A lot of things just won't grow there. Oh, it's a kiddie pool. There you go. I think it was Donna that was saying about the kiddie pool that she got that, and put all of her containers in there for her gardening and then just watered the pool and it kept the containers watered. And it's an easy way. Your kids would love to be using that. It's right down there on their level. They can help with that. I think that would be awesome. But yeah, Slinky. Yep. Thank you, Drops. Yes, exactly. That's the other thing to know is what your vegetables need, what kind of soil. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration, but don't let it paralyze you. I think there's, kind of, I don't want to say the biggest takeaway, but also it's just like, just get something in and learn as you go. You're not going to be an expert the first year. You're not going to have it all down. Just do it and get going on things. And like I said, even just take a kiddie pool, fill it with dirt, plant some strawberries in there or something, and just you'll figure things out as you go. Those of us who've been gardening for a long time, we still have failures out here, in the way of crops and everything. Because, sometimes we encounter bugs and insects and pests that we've never had before. Sometimes it's a climate, you know, thing that we'd never dealt with before. Like we had a very hot summer last summer. And so, there's just a lot of different things that you end up dealing with and you lose crops and, you figure it out as you go. But you wove string for your green beans for several years. There you go. Yep. Three Sisters Gardens. Excellent. Absolutely. Kiddie pool watering system is a great way to keep. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Patty. Think creatively, absolutely. Oh, raccoons. Hmm. Donna, you should try the Epsom salts then. Or the third aloe, or the third. Yep. All right, Gil, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Saw all kinds of weird bugs last year. I know. And last year, what I was dealing with is that it got so hot. We were in the hundreds in May. So it got so hot and dry so fast that when I planted my seeds and they were germinating, I couldn't keep them moist long enough for them to be able to really grow. And so I had just a low yield last year, as well as they just did not produce as well. So so it's like, okay, if it's like that again this year, I need to adapt. I need to figure out, it's like mulch more. Maybe try to figure a different watering system, grow something different, put something, maybe put a shade cloth up, just different things that I can figure out that might help the plants if I see the climate going in the same direction as it did last year. You never grew it too. It's rather greedy. What plants are greedy? Oh, Alicia, thank you. Yeah, you know what, Alicia? It's your year to get started on it, right? You've been wanting to for a few years now, and this is your year to start. So you got a live trap for raccoons, kept catching skunks. Oh no. Oh, grass clippings are good for mulching. Yes, absolutely. Um, uh, Ditto Patty absolutely changes every year. Yep. Um, Before the live, you were in the garden with the dog on the other side of the fence. I know. You wait until your tomatoes or peppers are about a foot tall and then put them in the garden, wood chips beneath them. Okay, very good. Oh, Debbie, I know. It was a hot one last summer. So, for those of you who came in a little bit later, I trimmed. I gave my onions a haircut. So, this is how tall they have been getting in 2 weeks. Look at that. And so they're flopping over. So at the beginning of our live, I gave this box a haircut. And so I'm down to about 3 inches here. And I will just take all of the little clippings here that fell off and discard them because I don't want them rotting in here because that will attract more, gnats and stuff like that. So anyway, you can see that they're a little happier just standing up, and they're gonna grow. So I'm sure in the next 6 or 7 weeks they're gonna get a few more haircuts, but it'll be so I want to take you along on this and show you how big they're going to be getting before I plant them. So I think that'll be kind of fun. Um, exactly drops. They mulch right into the soil and just continue to build that soil up. Cats never tried using your 3-foot tall raised boxes as okay. Okay. That is good to know that it's too much of an effort when they have to go to jump that high, right? Oh, oh, that's funny. Well, I am going to leave you with a couple Sven and Oli stories. So, did you hear about the two dumb Finns that hijacked a submarine? As ransom, they demanded $100,000 and 2 parachutes. Patty, me too, because I have not. I love growing onions. I love having them, and I just have not been able to get very big ones. So I totally get you. All right. Okay. Try if you discount plant starts too. Lars and Bjorn lived in the big city together. They were having their usual cup of morning coffee, listening to the weather report coming over the radio. The weatherman says, there will be 5 inches of snow today, and a snow emergency has been declared. To make sure the snow gets removed properly, like the plows coming by, you must park your cars on the odd numbered sides of the streets, which means like if your house is 301, 303, 305, that type of thing. Lars gets up from his coffee and he goes, park the car on the odd numbered side of the street. The next day, again, they are both sitting down with their cups of morning coffee, and the weather forecast says there are 4 inches of snow today, and a snow emergency has been declared. Today, cars must be parked on the even numbered sides of the street. Since it's his turn, Bjorn heads outside to park the car on the even side of the street. Well, a few days later, again, they are both sitting down with their cups of coffee. This must be Minneapolis because, it's our snow thing. And the weather forecast says we are expecting 5 inches of snow today, and a snow emergency has been declared. You must park your cars on the... And the power goes out. So Lars and Bjorn don't get to hear the rest of the instructions. Lars says, what are we going to do now, Bjorn? Bjorn says. Ah, Lars, let's just leave the car in the garage. Yeah, they were so dedicated in the middle. Ole and Lena had never been camping, and they heard about a nice camp near Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Lena was worried about the toilet facilities, but she didn't want to use the word toilet, so she wrote a letter to the campground owner. She remembered that around Minot, North Dakota, where they lived, they used to call it an LC, or lavatory commode. But she was prim, and she didn't want to say toilet or lavatory commode. So she simply asked in her letter if the camp has an LC. Well, the campground owner read Lena's letter and was puzzled about the initials LC. He finally decided it meant Lutheran Church. So he wrote back to Lena the following letter. It's WC's water closet. Yep. I am happy to inform you that there is a local LC located 9 miles north of the campground. I realize this is kind of far if you are used to going regular. It is really a nice one. It seats 250 people. The last time my wife and I went was 6 years ago. I love this. We're 6 years ago, and it was so crowded, we had to wait 20 minutes to be seated. Some people like it so much that they bring their lunch and make a day of it. I'm sorry. Oh, this is just too funny. There is going to be a fundraising dinner in the basement of the LC. and they're going to use the money to buy more seats. It pains me that I can't go more often like I know I should. But it gets more difficult when you get older, especially in the winter. So you come down and stay at our camp, and maybe we can go with you the first time to the LC and sit with you, and I'll introduce you to all the nice folks around here, because after all, this is a very friendly community. I just thought it was just too great. Oh. Oh, yes, the LC. All right, you guys, I'll leave you on this. And thank you so much for being here tonight. And have a great week. God bless. Always have hope. And just take care. I appreciate you being here. And thank you to all my mods. God bless. Bye-bye.